Welcome, everyone, to the Aging and Spirituality Podcast. I am Kathy Lee Taylor.
And I'm Chris Jensen.
And we're so happy you are here. We have a very interesting conversation for you today. I'm going to be talking about how to be proactive in your aging so that you can be happy and enthusiastic about your life. So if you're feeling complacent or you're wondering what the heck you're going to do with the rest of your life, this is the conversation to listen to. Many of us, as we get older, our needs are not that complicated. They're basically the same. We want to be happy. We want to maintain control of our lives, our autonomy. We want to be guided by meaning and purpose. That they sound like lofty things, but we figure them out when we're younger, and it's no different when we get older. They just change a little bit. We have to take a look at them and re-examine where we are emotionally and mentally and physically, and try to figure out what is it we want to do with the rest of our lives. So that takes some effort. That's what I mean by being proactive. Taking some time to find out who you are at this stage and what it is that you want to do with your life. So oftentimes, also, as people get older, they struggle a lot with missing friendships and connections that they had when they were in the workplace, right? I mean, when you leave your career, all these people that you've known and these friendships that you've had for years, some of them will inevitably fall away. And, that lends to people feeling lonely and kind of separate and segregated and all of those things. But there are things you can do to connect to your inner self and find out what it is you want to do in life, and thereby bring about brand new friendships, brand new relationships, brand new things that you can do that'll make your life happy, and you'll be very enthusiastic about what it is that you're doing. So one of the first things that I want to encourage you to do is to really think about, this is a time of discovering the things, your desires that you haven't thought about. We call it our unrealized desires. Things that we didn't have time to think about when we were younger and we were parenting or caretaking, whoever, whatever.
Maybe it was things that we knew, but we put them aside,
And that's a real point that I have. Thank you for saying that I haven't addressed at this time, because there are so many things that I can think of, even as a young writer, that I had to put aside because I didn't have time to spend a lot of time doing freelancing, because everybody knows you don't get paid squat for being a freelancer unless, you've been around a long time and you can, build up an inventory and all of those things. So there are those. They may even be hidden. I call them hidden, but they may just be unrealized because you didn't have time to do them. But as Chris just pointed out, here we are, available, ready. What are those things that maybe we put, in a shelf, and now we want to pull them out and we want to do them? Now is the time to be looking at those things. Like, do you have a hobby that you really want to do? There's art, there's writing, there's music, there's dance, painting, cooking, reading, gaming. I mean, the list goes on endlessly. Maybe you're a sports freak. I mean, I'm playing tennis now, and I never discovered that until I was in my late 50s.
And she's great at tennis. She plays all the time.
And it's so much fun, and it keeps me physically fit. And now pickleball is the whole rage. I haven't crossed over yet. But lots of people tell me that it's fun, and it's a very social game. So maybe you have one of those, tucked away that you can go and try to explore. So maybe you're part of an extended family. Lucky you, that likes to travel. Now's the time to be doing that kind of thing. The possibilities are really, really, really endless. We just have to pay attention to them. So let's put some effort into being proactive, because this is a real win-win situation when you know what it is that you want, right? So the first thing that I'm going to say about being proactive in our third stage of life is be responsible for your body. I know this is something that I have said before, but it is part of aging. And guess what? Your body can be one of the, what would be the right word, feedback mechanisms that can tell you when you're on track. Your emotions will tell you when you're happy, right?
And your body will certainly tell you whether you're going in the right direction or not,
Or
right?
not. Your body will tell you when you're physically not okay, and it sends warning signs when you're off track, or there's something that you need to pay attention to. So it's really important not to ignore your body. I mean, I liken it to, a lot of people get a car and they take fabulous care of their car. They wash it, they make sure it's up to date on its maintenance, they're always taking care of it, but they ignore their bodies. How dumb is that?
I have a friend who years ago, she's a psychologist, and she said, it's amazing. People don't realize that for the price of a new car, they can have a new life.
Yes.
But they won't do it.
Oh, and a lot less. It's literally just a
A lot
switch
less.
of
Yeah.
your focus.
Right. It's a lot less than buying a new car. But but the priority is for people is the new car.
Yes. Yeah, but we aren't taught that, as you get older, you're going to have to maintain your body, and here's your gorgeous body taking you around for 60 years. Now you have to do some payback. You have to take care of it. It's been your soul's vehicle for this long, taking care of you, doing all the amazing fun things that you wanted to. Now it's time to take care of it and make sure you can keep it going as long as, possible, which in this day and age is, a lot longer than it used to be. So, okay. So paying attention to our self-care, having fun with exercise, that's a big one. That's why I say go play tennis. I mean, if you hate to go to the gym, you don't like to, go running, go find a sport that, really, really excites you. Like when I'm not playing tennis, I have to push myself to go to the gym. I still have to go and do the resistance, work on my muscles. They do start to atrophy after 60. So you want to, build your strength, and you have to do that. But most of the time I'm having fun just chasing a little yellow ball and getting my exercise. So you have to find that balance. You have to find that routine, that fitness routine that really works for you, along with a good diet. You can't just keep put garbage in and not expect it to break down. You don't put cheap gas in your car. You don't put vinegar in your tank. So
well, there's a new study now that just came out from one of the government institutions that the Mediterranean diet, which is theoretically a very healthy diet, helps to prevent dementia as well as heart disease and diabetes. So
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
That's a very fabulous diet too, and not hard to follow at all. The hard part for most people is giving up the processed and sugar foods because they're very addictive. But you can do it. You can
They're
do
addictive.
it.
That's why.
Yeah, they are very addictive. You have to think about your body as a temple, and really allow yourself to care for it like you are, creating the sacred container for your soul to be with you, and to, keep up leveling your life in a way that you become happier and more satisfied and more fulfilled and all of those amazing things. So there you go. That's my little lecture on your taking care of your body. Tip number 2 is act your perceived age. So listen to this one. This is really interesting. There's a study that I read from a psychologist called Ellen Langer from Harvard, and she did a study that found that aging can be reversed by how we perceive ourselves. So in the study, 75-year-olds who were in good health were encouraged to think, look, act, and speak as if they were 20 years younger. So just imagine you're doing that right now. I'm 60 and now I'm thinking, oh, I'm 40. I'm listening to music that from 20 years ago, right? I'm wearing a photo ID that says I'm 40 years old. I'm referring to my friends and children as if they were 20 years younger. They were play acting in this study is what they were doing. They were feeling like, oh, their careers are still in full swing. They're 40 years old. What would they be doing if they were still, in a career full time? And the thing about it was the results of the play acting group compared to a control group that did nothing, that were acting as their normal perceived selves, that play acting group improved their memory, improved manual dexterity, and became more active and more self-sufficient. That's what the study showed. People that judges, they had judges that were looking at the photos before and after of the 75-year-olds before they did the experiment and afterwards. On average, they looked 3 years younger physically, literally physically 3 years younger.
Well, there's a thing in yoga about not revealing your age.
Yeah.
And the reason you do that, it's not because you want people to know how, but the
Who
idea,
cares?
right. The idea is you don't want to get stuck on a number. It's just a number. And
It's the
as soon as you
perception.
label yourself, you start believing that and acting in that way. And so do other people. So a lot of yogis never reveal how old they are.
That's exactly right. And it's the perception of your age that's hurting you more
Yeah.
than anything. How you see yourself. So, these people that had in the study, they had stiff joints and they came out feeling more flexible. And they were able to straighten their posture. Their muscle strength and hearing improved. Their vision improved. I mean, this is documented. You can go look it up. It's a Harvard study. So how you perceive yourself is really important. So be like yogi. Don't worry about the number. Just worry about how you feel. And if you're taking care of yourself, you're going to feel great. You're going to feel great. So stop focusing on getting older. Act like you are in the life in the present moment that you want. And that's where you put your focus. And you're going to feel vital. You're going to feel like your attention is where it needs to be in the present moment. And spirit will be able to get at you. You won't be spending all your time worrying about physical ailments or whatever it is that's perturbing your mind or struggling with that sense of being alone or lonely or any of that stuff. No, you're going to be having fun and you're going to feel great about your life.
Well, this is very helpful with serious illnesses as well. A few years ago, I had breast cancer. It was very early, so I was very fortunate with it. I worked with a nutritionist and read this book called After Cancer Care. And it was written by some oncologists, 3 different oncologists. And what they said was the people who thought they were cured were fine. They were.
Wow.
The people who didn't think that, the people who were concerned about it coming back and we're into that theory of being in remission, which they don't use anymore. You're cancer free, but those people ended up having reoccurrences. But the people who thought they were fine and done, they were.
Yeah. So that's a very fine point that she's making. When you're in the middle of it, is sometimes hard to feel it because you get stuck in fear.
Yeah.
She's right. If you can stay positive, it's going to take you to the goal line a lot faster with being healthy. So number 3, that actually is a great segue into the number 3 point that I had, was manage your stress. This is what yoga is all about. So many chronic diseases are not from age, from stress reactions to chronic tension. And we have, if we're having a sedentary life, we have poor diet and we have lousy maladaptive ways of handling stress. Yikes. That's a recipe for not feeling well, not getting the best out of your life. Any one of those 3 things. So managing your stress is really important. So I just did a couple of tips on, okay, what's a routine that we can do to handle stress every day? I'm just going to give you the bullet points, and if you want to write them down or listen to this tape again. Do gentle stretching or yoga postures in the morning. First thing, give your body a chance to just relax, release tension. Notice where it is, let it go. Let go of eating what your body does not feel good is good for it. And you know what they are. Don't kid yourself.
Yeah, we all know.
Yeah. And then we tell us, oh, it's cool. I can do this. You eat sugar and your blood sugar drops and you're like, oh, I don't feel good. But then next time you want sugar, you go, oh, okay. Do it again. Yeah. Pay attention to those things and treat your body well. Give yourself a chance in the morning to let go of monkey mind. When you first get up, spend some time in silence or meditation. Number 1 thing, best thing you can do. During the day, if you're stressed, go for mindfulness walks. Just do the exercise we talked about many times on this podcast, and that's no naming, no judging, just walking and observing and just be quiet. Be quiet and just observe.
Mm.
And then one last one, just let your heart expand. And when you meet other people, smile at them, feel that aliveness between you, that connection between you. You're tapping into the oneness of the universe, and that exists with everybody that you meet or don't meet. You can think about somebody and expand your heart, and you will feel better and less stressed. Those are my little tips on stress. And I have one more thing that's really important, and that is let go of old beliefs. This is part of that mindset that we started talking about and what you should be focusing on, right? So when you figure out that you're operating from old habitual beliefs that are, weighing you down physically and emotionally, you need to know how to change those. So we're going to do an exercise here. We're going to get meditated for just a little bit. So take a couple of deep breaths. And let them go. Just relax your body. Just shake out your shoulders a little bit and just center your awareness. Inside your heart is a good place to be. Or if you're more comfortable in your third eye, that's okay too. Or anywhere in your body you feel comfortable. I'm just going to ask you a few questions that are going to help you identify old beliefs that are operating that you might be unconscious of. So when you become aware of them, then you're able to let go of them. So we're going to do a little exercise to become aware of them, and then I'll tell you how to let them go. So let's identify first what you feel is an inner barrier for yourself. Ask yourself, where am I currently feeling stuck in my life? This may feel like an emotional attachment that you have to a place where you feel really stuck. Something that's bothering you, something that you can't seem to get past. And if you can sense what that stuck place is, ask yourself, how does it benefit me to stay in this stuck position? How is it feeding into my life right now? Why have I not changed this? Just place one hand on your body where you feel this feeling of stuckness is in your body. Maybe it's in your tummy, maybe it's in your sacral, maybe it's in your heart, wherever it is, put your hand over it and just breathe into it. Breathe into that feeling of being stuck. Get a sense of where this old belief came from. Was it something from your childhood? Was it something that you learned maybe from a family member or friend, something that happened to you on the school playground? This is not about blaming and shaming. This is just about getting clear where this came from. Now, are you ready to let go of this old belief and live in a deeper truth of who you are? If you don't feel ready to let go, just stop. Don't finish the exercise. We can return to it later. You can listen to this tape later and try again. But if you do, if it feels safe, go ahead and ask your inner self, what is the truth about this situation for me? Why am I keeping myself stuck? And once you get an answer to that particular question, you can move on and ask your inner self, now that I can let this old belief go, what new belief can I take on to raise my vibration and become a better servant of spirit? Okay, bringing your awareness back to the room. Thank you for taking time to do that. You can go back and visit that exercise at any time. Take as much time as you want to
That
go
was
through it
great.
until you feel clear and you get, answers that are really fulfilling for you. That can be very powerful. You learn that process of identifying where you feel stuck. Where is it coming from? Get clear about, why am I still holding on to this? Okay, let's let that go. I'm ready to let that go. Be 100% clear you're ready. And then go deeper. Soul, tell me, what is it that I can do to bring myself to the next level? So much fun. So much
Yeah,
fun.
and just knowing, I think, knowing the awareness of where you're stuck, that's a big step.
Yeah, because you can't let go of it if you don't.
Yeah, you got to know that you're stuck and that's where you're stuck. So,
Exactly. And that requires, that can be for places that are really painful. You may have healing in there to do. That can come up. It's okay. Just let it go. Let it go as you feel ready to let that go. It's not serving you anymore in your life. Let it go. And then you'll be just so amazed how much space will open up to be able to be in a loving space, to be able to be in a happy space, to be able to be in a place where you can create something great, and then you can go back to the beginning of this talk and start planning for all the things that you want to do, the fun things that you can get done.
about it. Yeah.
Exactly. All those that list of stuff that you want to get done. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go run off and play tennis. So thank you for showing up. Enjoy. We hope this
Thanks.
helps you. Take care. See you next
See you
week.
soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.